the Crane Room for your lunch and dinner rendezvous. You'll enjoy their pleasant atmosphere. The Crane Room takes pride in their wide variety menu. Appetizers, sandwiches, soups, salads, entrees, pasta, and the best burgers in town. Newcastle's best selection of domestic, import, and craft beers from around the world, and the Crane Room features a 35-tap draft system. Ask about their daily specials that will please you every time. The Crane Room is located at 3009 Wilmington Road in Neshannock Township. Call 724-656-1553.
When I'm on the go, I take NCTV45 with me.
Give Mangina Outside Services a call when you want a yard project done and done right. Bud Mangina is the owner, and he and his staff will do just about any yard project, and he also does hauling of your trash and unwanted items. Mangina Outside Services covers the greater Newcastle area with very affordable prices. Tell Bud you heard this message on NCTV45, and you'll receive a 10% discount. Call 724-3658. That's 724-614-3658.
Quiet, relaxing tranquility. That's Bethy's Bakery and Eatery in Volant, Pennsylvania. But you may ask, is it a bakery or is it a restaurant? Bakery, restaurant. Well, they have cakes of every kind. And not only that, they have burgers also, and turnovers, and salads, and donuts, and nachos, and cupcakes, and cream puffs, and just goes on and on. But let's not forget, home of the plate-sized cinnamon roll. Is it a bakery? Is it a restaurant? You decide. Bethy's in Vogue.
It's Butts Flowers when you want a wide variety of flowers for any occasion. They also have a selection of fine gifts and more. Butts Flowers is conveniently located in downtown Newcastle at 120 East Washington Street. Call Butts Flowers at 724-652-7727 or toll free from anywhere, 1-800-443-7726. It's Butts Flowers in downtown Newcastle.
Keep watching NCTV45 for Cookin' the Castle. You're going to love it. EAS, Emergency Answering Services, can get that call when you can't. We are a trusted answering service who operates 24/7. Locally owned and operated. When you need help answering your phones, call EAS. We'll get the message to you.
Hi, I'm Gary West for NCTV45, and this is another segment of FocusNC. And this is going to be a three-parter, and you're watching part one right now. My guest today is the Region Director and founder of US SARR, Ron Wisbith. Ron, welcome to the program.
Pleasure to be here, Gary.
Now, SARR, S-A-R-R, stands for Search and Rescue and Recovery, and their mission is to provide resolution for families and communities who have experienced an unaccounted for or missing person event, whether it's an individual gone missing or many who are unaccounted for due to a natural or human-caused disaster. And I like their slogan, too, because it really nails it, dedicated to bringing home the missing. Now, Ron, when did SARR begin? Oh, before we talk about SARR, tell us a little bit about yourself, Ron.
Well, Gary, I'm kind of semi-retired. You have a company in Coppell called the SARR Corporation. Actually, we've kind of rebranded that now. It's called the Idea Works, and that's because we work in a completely different way. Though we started out as a printing company, But now it's we're into marketing and the electronic and print services. We don't have any salespeople. We just have customer service representatives. And the idea there is that we don't try to sell anybody anything except tell them what services are available so we can work with them and get them through their challenges. And it covers a wide variety of things, because today's world market, you have to have that total knowledge, and then we kind of break it down to somebody comes in with a low budget, we can work with them, or somebody's got a higher budget. It's basically small and medium-sized organizations and companies that we work with, and we're located in Coppell.
And we'll give you a phone number for that too, because we have several phone numbers to pass along to you. So get ready to write those down later. Now, Ron, where would SARR be located? You have 2 locations, right?
Well, actually, our corporate office is in Beaver Falls. Okay, we've been there for probably at least 10 years. We started in Columbiana County, and we have actually we got a couple of teams: Mahoning County, Columbiana, and Jefferson, and Beaver, and Lawrence. We have a few representatives from each county, but like I said, our main corporate office is in Beaver Falls.
And I know you cover this whole area. You mentioned some of the counties. There are more too that
Right.
you're involved.
Well, actually, we worked outside of that. These are where we have members from, but it's a tri-state area: Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. So we'll go wherever we need to, but up to a certain limitation.
Now, there are 2 reasons why Ron is here today. One is to inform you about what SARR is all about. The other reason is SARR was asked to participate in the Christopher Story missing person case. And we're going to give you that information in segment 3. So let's talk more about SARR. Ron, when did SARR begin, and were you with SARR from day one? I assume you were, because
Yes.
you're the founder.
This is we're into our 41st year. It was 41 years ago that we organized and started getting involved in volunteer search and rescue.
You know, there are so many reasons why there are missing persons. Runaways, those who are lost. You got your dementia and Alzheimer's wanderers, and of course abducted children. Now, out of these categories, Ron, which has the most cases, would you say?
Well, you know, you've got the highest profile now with abducted children and also the elderly. These are the 2 heavies, if you will. But actually, I've identified 24 categories of missing persons, and each one has something about it that's unique to that particular profile that you need to understand so that you could work with the case. So, like I said, Alzheimer's, the elderly, and the abducted children seem to be the 2 attention-getting ones. But yet, for example, abducted children, number-wise, they're probably on the smaller end, fortunately. Now, who's the most proliferous? Right now, I can't tell you nationwide how that's it, because we only got a partial system. Like the abducted children nationally through the National Center, there's records on that one, okay? But you've got, which records runaways, which is another category. So I'd have to say those 2 are your basic ones that everybody's concerned about.
What is the protocol to allow SARR to be put on a case? And maybe you could walk us through that process.
Okay, well, the irony of it is that if somebody calls us and says, you know, I've got somebody missing in a family or what have you, can you help? Yes, we can, but you have to notify your local law enforcement agency and have them make the call. There are legal parameters involved in that have to be addressed. And, of course, technically, across the country, law enforcement is the agency by law in most states that are challenged or have the authority and responsibility for it. In the case of Ohio, it's the sheriff of each county. In most states, the sheriff is the highest law enforcement officer. In Pennsylvania, the irony of it is that by law, there is no legislation that says who's in charge. Everybody thinks it's law enforcement, as it should be. Unfortunately, by law, here in Pennsylvania, no one. And we'd like to see that changed, because it is a law enforcement issue, and we're a partner with law enforcement. We provide services that most agencies don't have, exception of large cities like Pittsburgh and Philadelphia and Harrisburg and those kind. They usually have missing persons units, but most don't. They do it part of their daily work, but it's not their primary mission. Whereas in our case, we're hoping to be leading the charge here that volunteer search and rescue actually become a profession and accepted as a partner with law enforcement to pick up above what they don't handle.
And there have also been many high-profile missing person cases over the years. And one of the examples that you have up on your website is that murdered university student from, or there were multiple students, I believe, from Steubenville, Ohio.
Yes.
What year was that?
Be honest with you, Gary, I can't remember. It's been a while.
And there was one up in Cleveland, too, in 2006. That was
Yes, a young girl.
a child abduction? Yeah.
It was a child abduction. We were put on standby in the original search, and then probably a couple weeks later, they got a lead. They gave us a call and said, could we come up and assist on that? We more or less confirmed what they had found, that she was picked up by a vehicle. Then they went and searched an area there where they got a tip that she may have been laid there. That proved to be wrong. About a week later, they got another tip. They checked this one out. It was in a warehouse, and that's where they found the young girl.
Now, not only does SARR handle cases in the tri-state area, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia, but the unit has responded to a number of disasters. You could maybe hit on some of those ones that are far away from here.
Well, the first lengthy one was down in West Virginia, where I believe it was Petersburg, West Virginia. The whole area was totally devastated, and we were called down, and we worked like 3 days.
Flash floods?
It was a flash flood. I mean, the disaster, the damage it caused on, I've seen bridges were built into the hillside, into a solid rock, just totally wiped out. Debris piles at the end of that particular river were at least 40 feet high, and there was a turkey farm upstream somewhere, I forget how many miles upstream. 100,000 turkeys were washed downstream. So we spent 3 or 4 days down there, just more or less trying to clean up to make sure there wasn't anything else left undone on that one. And of course, we were down in Katrina for a week. We were working through the Red
Down in
Cross.
Mississippi?
Yeah. We actually went through Alabama with the Red Cross, then we're right on the borderline of Louisiana, and worked in Mississippi, at a little bayou community down there.
Well, your team went as far as the Armenian earthquake and
We had a
also
member.
mudslides in Puerto Rico.
Yes, we had one of our members who had part of the international group. It's back when they were just starting to form the FEMA Urban Search and Rescue teams. So, and we were in the early stages of that. But when after a few years, we kind of pulled back from it because it became a federal issue that was more closed in. So.
Well, we're running out of time in segment 1. Make sure you reference segments 2 and 3 because we have a lot more to talk about with Ron Wisbith, the founder and region director of U.S. SARR, which stands for Search and Rescue and Recovery. And the emergency number is 1-866-387-7277. And if you would, Ron, that the website.
I might correct that.
Is there a change?
Yes, we have changed that.
Oh, didn't know they changed it. Go ahead and give that number.
412-303-5650. 412-303-5650.
We'll give you that number again in the other segments. And the website is www.ussarr.org. That's USSARR.org. So make sure you tune in to segment 2. We want to thank Ron Wisbith for being with us. I'm Gary West. That's another segment 1 of FocusNC on NCTV45. We have a great relationship with Main Street Clothiers and Custom Tailors in downtown Newcastle at 210 East Washington Street. And whenever you watch FocusNC, my wardrobe is furnished by Main Street Clothiers and Custom Tailors. Bill's Bake Shop will make you happy. Bill Cast is the owner, and he and his staff keep the tradition going with all those bakery items that you remember as a kid. Just to name a few items, Bill makes cream sticks, cinnamon rolls, bear claws, cream horns, cannoli, cakes, pies, cookies, bread, pizza, and so much more. Bill's Bake Shop, located at 228 North Liberty Street in the Mahoningtown section of Newcastle, is open Tuesday through Saturday, 7 to 5, and Sunday, 7 to 2, closed on Monday. Bill's, where smiles are everywhere. Call 724-654-4223. Make it Lanigan's Irish Pub, where you'll be amazed with the weekly specials. Pub grub, salads, burgers, sandwiches, Irish specialties, and desserts. Lanigan's has a full bar featuring domestic, craft, and Irish draft beer. You can also book a party at Lanigan's at 126 East Washington Street in downtown Newcastle. As they say at Lanigan's Irish Pub, the best Irish food since Ireland. Call 724-657-3444.
This is NCTV45. You can watch us anytime on your time.
It's Pizza 2 in downtown Newcastle with a great variety menu that you will tell everybody about. Chris Quiera, the owner, is here with more information.
Stop down and see us at Little Johnny's 2. We're located at 130 East Washington Street, or give us a call at 724-657-2210.
We're with Sammer from Mary's Restaurant in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Sammer, how are you today?
Very good, thank you.
That's great. Can you tell us what kind of food you have at your restaurant?
I have lots of good food, and I have chicken over rice, kippy, gravy, lemon raw, chicken raw, all healthy food, no worry about that.
Sounds great. Middle Eastern food. And you're on Long Avenue in Newcastle.
Thank you, yeah.
Open from
6 day a week.
6 day a week.
From 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock to 10 o'clock night.
11 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Okay. We'll see everybody at Mary's Restaurant in downtown Newcastle.